to ask for a raise? Welcome to Build a Better Career. Do you need a raise? In this video, we'll discuss 5 tips on how to ask for a raise, questions you need to be sure to ask, and what to do if your boss says no. Hello, I'm Diane Bogino. Asking for a raise might be one of the scariest conversations you have at work, but if you're not in an organization that gives them out on a regular basis, or not in a merit system, or if your boss isn't looking out for your best interest, it may be necessary to have that conversation. But there are some steps to follow that help assure your success. So let's get started. Step 1, prepare. Be sure you know why you're asking for a raise and why you deserve it. So look in your kudos file and see my video about keeping a kudos file on this channel if you don't have one. Look back over the past year and look at your accomplishments. Go with hard and fast numbers first. Examples are, did you increase sales and you're looking for a certain number or a percentage? Did you and your team increase productivity? Have customer service numbers risen because of your direct efforts? Next, go through your kudos file and gather compliments and praise that you've received from other people. Some will say when you receive a compliment, ask the sender to forward it to your boss. I disagree. Don't make them do the work. Plus, think about this. You've lost control. Will they get distracted and forget to send it? Will they edit it before they send it? And how will you follow up? You know, asking your boss if someone sent over a kudo about you makes you look like a third grader. Instead, keep it in your kudos file and make a nice presentation of them after your conversation with the boss. More about that later in this video. Dress like a professional. You may need to upgrade your appearance and your dress. Now, this doesn't need to be expensive, but always look like the person you're trying to become. Step 2, get the amount you want in your head and be sure you understand if it's reasonable. Do your research. Look up salaries on websites like Glassdoor, LinkedIn, salary.com, PayScale, and the one I recommend is onetonline.org. Here's why. You get information on not only what your salary should be, but what the going rate is depending on what part of the country you live in. This site addresses education requirements, the skills and attributes demanded by the job, and employment trends for the future. Step 3, when you state the figure, state a range and make the figure you want the bottom one. For example, if you're currently making $45K annually and you feel because of what you've accomplished, you deserve to make $55K annually, you say something like this, and the increase I'm asking for is between $55K and $65K annually. Then zip it. Clench your teeth and bite your tongue if you have to, but don't say another word. Step 4, timing. Be sure it's the right time to ask for a raise. For example, if the budget has just been signed, sealed, and delivered, you may be out of luck. So know ahead of time when your organization begins its budgeting process. If the company is laying off workers, obviously, this is not a good time to ask for a raise. Corners are being cut. But the silver lining here is that you may be asked to take on additional duties, and those can be added to your achievements file when it is the right time to ask for a raise. If there's a merger or acquisition going on, there's probably far too much chaos to ask for a raise then. Legal issues, for example, if the organization is facing a public battle, you may want to wait for a more appropriate time. Step 5, be prepared. Earlier, we discussed being prepared, but this time, be prepared for a no or not now, or it's not in the budget. Now is the time to consider what your manager may be thinking. He or she may want to give you a raise, but is unable to do so at this time. Your manager may be afraid of losing you as an employee. The manager may not even be sure if the raise you're asking for is adequate, inadequate, or too high. Remember, this is one of those hope for the best, but prepare for the worst case scenarios. More likely than not, you're not going to get an answer at this meeting. So here's how to wind things up. Remain confident but humble. Always be grateful and appreciative. Thank your boss for the meeting and ask when you might expect to hear from him or her about a decision if one was not made in this meeting. It's also crucial that you and your manager are on the same page about any new responsibilities that are coming along with your new raise. This is the time you ask questions about new deliverables, new colleagues to manage, new superiors to report to, and new performance standards. Tell your boss that you will follow up with an email about what you discussed. When you send this email, this is the time to reiterate what you and your boss talked about, but also include those kudos we talked about earlier. Put them in a nicely compiled, neatly organized, and easily readable PDF document. And finally, if you don't get the raise, you can negotiate for other perks like additional vacation time, a title change, half-day Fridays, flex time, or telecommuting. And remember, just because you're working virtually, the work is the work. It's the same work. In fact, some people say they work harder virtually than they do in the office. So don't let that deter you from asking for the amount of raise you want. Join my Build a Better Career Mastermind group to help you learn how to ask for what you're worth and build a better career. Let's get started.